Okay, so I'm just going to record this silver bullet entry. Pretty self-explanatory and pretty simple. Fair value gap was formed right after 9. We bought it, aiming for that high of the day, and then we're going to look for 2 to 1. 1 to 1 should get us right at about high of the day, and then 2 to 1 could get us above that high of the day. So I'd be comfortable taking at that 2 to 1. If we measure this swing from the low to this high, let's just use the bodies first because it's a very large swing. So if we just use that projection, we could look at 0.5, so that's really not too far off. So you can see there's that half standard deviation there. That's about what I would be targeting in this previous swing. Now, we have to see if this fair value gap holds. Like I said, the stop is okay here, but I didn't really want to go much past 30 points, especially with this order block and fair value gap. Now, the only scenario I might consider, say that if it fails down, I'm not going to try to go short. Even though it may go short, I would rather just wait. If it sits here and gives me another opportunity, I would take the same trade. So I'd have to enter during this fair value gap, and then my stop would go in the same spot, and then we might be able to see that rally again. Now, I'm okay with this setup because right, we have our points of reference, which are this fair value gap, the low of this order block is our stop, and then we have right obviously TPs up here. Now, say it goes lower. How would we expect it to go lower? Well, we know they need to stop us out first. Then we would expect some kind of retracement and then going lower. Now, whether they decide to retrace right here or just keep dumping, I'm betting that if they do retrace, that they don't go above or into this fair value gap. I'm doubting that we see something like this. Right. So that's why I was saying I would buy again at that fair value gap if it was still solid. Now, those would be the things that make it kind of out of the ordinary or more ordinary in my head. Now, the probabilities of that exact setup, I don't really know. I know that silver bullet, we're going to hit about 40% of the time, 50% of the time. So I know that there's good probability on this setup. But once it stops out, I know that the probabilities fall off pretty heavy for that setup to continue to play out. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So on my server it didn't have the fair value gap. So I just took the long and kind of placed it in here. So I got a little bit better risk reward. But I'd like to see that setup go through the high of the day. I could, they could reject that pretty quick.
Tyler, I was just gonna ask you that, man, because I'm looking at it, the YM1, and it didn't have the gap. I was gonna ask you, did yours have the gap on your futures?
No.
Cool. So how do you play that? You just look at the chart from on MetaTrader and just play it off of that one?
I mean, it's not necessarily like one or the other, but if a gap forms on at least one of them, then I'm comfortable with
You're
it
comfortable.
because, you know, no two feeds are ever going to be the exact same.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of like, and that's why technicals are not necessary. I'm not saying that they're bad, but they are flawed in a sense because you're drawing your perfect technicals off of a chart where the liquidity on another chart is going to be slightly off, if that makes sense. Right? Like you're lining up your technicals based off that order block, but that order block could only be there on your feed. You see what I'm saying? So if
Yes, sir. That makes
we
perfect sense.
don't have the real booking from like a central bank perspective, that's why if you go and you use your 15-minute chart, everything's not going to be the same, right? But if you go look at your daily chart, your weekly chart, it's going to be really hard for anything to be different there. This thing's moving nice. I'll just drag the TP to that 1 standard deviation right at 3 to 1. But just know that once we get into this level, if we make it here, that is where we're going to begin our partials. I'm going to step away for 2 minutes, guys. I'll be right back. Um, we're at that 1 to 1 now, so I'm going to at least move the stop up by 25% and see if we can hit this target. Like I said, I'll be right back in just about a couple minutes. All right, Joe, I'm back. Anyone still holding this trade with me? Me. iPhone says me. iPhone says me with a kiss. Well, I'm glad you got in at iPhone. Oh, iPhone meant to send a heart. Okay, so at this point, stop's gonna go pretty much to break even. I just took a partial as it peaked above that high, but outside of this, I'm probably not gonna touch it anymore. Man, that Nasdaq ended up being a really nice trade. Yeah, I just took some partials as it peaked up above there. I mean, it's just after holding it through here, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to take something up here. Apparently, there's a new meta generator out there. Meta. Let's see. How's everyone doing this morning? How's your day? You doing all right? You need any help? What can I help you with? Mac, did you do any back testing over the weekend?
Yes, 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 yes. I actually put some tests and look at what my wins and losses was. Check and see what I did right, what I did wrong. You know, working on these platforms, man. It just just trying like old boy said to my eye, just that transition, getting them to where I want. So no trade day for me. Just trying to.
All right, man. Well, let's get you right. I'll
Yeah,
have to find something to pick you up with.
yes, sir.
What a beautiful trade. What a beautiful trade. Bet that NASDAQ. Eef, beautiful. Brandon, you should be up $1 million. If you didn't take this, bro, we're gonna have to fight. I think he dipped. I'm gonna text him. Damn, bro, my screen is having today. Knocking all my bullets over, man. Oh, nice. Hmm. That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that the Zooms have been helping you. So I like to hear. Man, I'm gonna start trading this Tesla just cause I could fuck it up. Oh my God. Stupid man. Yep, and I'm doing it for free. To be honest with you, probably not doing it for free much longer. But that's a good thing. Because I'm gonna be starting the academy, which if I'm if I'm gonna give you this much for free, obviously if you're paying for it, I'm gonna give you more. Man, where is Shane at? I need to talk to him about this damn Germany setup. This one got shit on it. Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm gonna be doing the whole thing. Gonna have the academy back, signals back. Pretty dope stuff. Let's see. This macro actually played out really nice. Hey, Xavier, bro, are you still around? Also, I could offer it up here to you guys first. A couple people reached out to it, so we had two packages that I'm offering. So the first package is 3 people, um, and it's a 4-month mentorship. I won't go into all the details because that one's already full. We've already met our capacity there. So I'm opening up a smaller group. It's only going to be for 1 month, but I'm looking for 5 people I could hold for that one. And so if you're interested in that 1 month mentorship, we could set up a call. It is going to be like full systems and everything. I don't have the time to do the 4-month package for everyone. So like I said, I only took 3 for that one, and that one won't open up again until at least April or May. But I have a few slots, 5 still for the 1 month, which I haven't sold yet. So like I said, I'm giving you guys first priority if that is something that you want to do. But I'll probably post about it sometime this evening or tomorrow for everyone else to start getting involved if they want. Man, this trade is just running now. No, the monthly one-on-one is 1,500 because you basically get all my systems as if they were automated. You get me walking you through it for a full month, so it really is it's a way better experience than the academy. The academy is going to be basically a cheap option for the people who are just getting started, just learning. And the mentorships are more for like people who have been trading for at least 2 or 3 years and are kind of struggling to be profitable or understand strategies fully. So it'll be 2 different packages, right? Like you could either select just the academy or you could do the academy and the signals. Of course there'd be an incentive there. But yeah, it's up to you, which one you want to pick. Yeah, so I'm really not sure on the start date. I figured I would just wait until around New Year. Yeah, that was my plan, was to start it right around the New Year. As far as the academy and signals, everything's pretty much done. Everything's been recorded, everything's ready. It's more about just I haven't done it.
Oh shit.
All right, y'all, I'm gonna close this out. And that's gonna be it for me today. Not a bad trading session. Man, that NASDAQ is ripping right back, which is actually not bad. What time is it? 10. Yeah. So we've got all right, y'all. It's been a solid morning. Great being with you, and I'll catch you real soon. Is there
Alrighty.
any last minute questions before we hop off?
Um, Oh, you kind of already answered it. You said your overall.
Brandon, I was looking for you earlier.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. What's up?
You take that GU short?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I was gonna send you a screenshot right now too.
I was gonna be mad if you didn't, bro. I'm gonna be like,
Hell
you
yeah.
called it. You called it. You better have traded it.
Yeah, it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, well, I guess the only
I'm a
question
little
I have
late.
with
I'm a little late to this one, but I'm just gonna leave this short. TP is going to be right here. I'm gonna do a 1-to-1 ish, 39 for 30. I'm gonna put it at 50% of this order block. It's a little better than a 1-to-1.
oh yeah.
And even we could target like down here, but I'd rather just target like this one. So we'll see if this hits, but I am hopping off. All right, y'all. And Brandon, what were you asking? You had a question?
Yeah, I was I guess you kind of answered it when you were saying like your overall bias towards on gold. It's kind of just seeing lower prices.
Yeah, I think so, man. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Hopefully they give a nice short sometime this week. I'm trying to hold a swing long.
Yeah, man. All righty. I'll talk with y'all soon. Peace.
Thanks
Peace.
for the